Gray Eminence has 3 to 5 players manipulating the game, world, and each other in order to complete personal goals. Dragon Dawn Productions provided this prototype in exchange for an honest review. Because it is a prototype, the final game may have different components and rules. As a group, decide on the scenario, global, European, and so on, and whether you wish to play the 5 or 8 round game. Place the round marker on the top spot. Players take a playmat and matching meeple. Place the meeples randomly on the visibility track. Players receive 3 victory point cards, keep 2. Players choose a Gray Eminence character and receive the shown resources in the bottom left: red power, blue influence, and green money. Certain Gray Eminences begin with 1 or more faction cards, which I'll explain later. The bottom right corner shows personal goals, how to resolve them, and the amount of victory points, or VP, awarded. The back of the Gray Eminence card clarifies these goals. The game is played in phases. In the refresh phase, players receive 4 action cards. Your hand limit is 8. If you have an exhausted faction, you may pay the cost to refresh it. Draw and read aloud an event card. In each round, the group will have to deal with an event, usually 1, but every once in a while, there's 2. Place the event card in the mandatory slot at the bottom of the power struggle board. Players secretly choose and bid a number of their resources, including 0, and hold them in a fist over the power struggle board. Everyone reveals their bids. From most to least, players place their meeple on the visibility track. In ties, multiple of one type beat different types. The second tiebreaker is the previous round's turn order. There must be 1 player in the public eye and 1 in the shadows. Place the bid resources in the bidding pool. Your Gray Eminence and victory conditions go on your playmat's left. The top are your factions, and the bottom is for action cards. The playmat walks you through rounds, shows tiebreakers, and so on. The bottom left shows the rewards you receive depending on if you're in the public eye, the shadows, or a Gray Eminence in the middle. In the programming phase, players simultaneously play cards face down in the common good, personal gain, and discard slots on their playmats. If you spend a resource, you get to play a 4th card for either its common good or personal gain effect. Players who are not in the public eye and shadows may play a 4th card for free. The presidential response phase is where the US president tweets his opinions on world issues. Draw and read aloud a tweet card, then resolve its effects. If one of the hashtags matches a keyword on the event card, stop drawing tweet cards. If there is no match, continue. The maximum number of tweets that can be out is 4. The action phase is played in turn order. The player in the public eye plays their common good card face down near the event, then reads and resolves their personal gain card, discards the card set out earlier, and plays their 4th card, if any. If players play cards in non-matching slots, for example, a personal gain card in the common good slot, it is ignored. Personal gain rewards go into your supply. Common good rewards will eventually be revealed and go into the bidding pool. If you have a faction, it may be exhausted or rotated so it's upside down for its effects. All resources shown on faction cards go into the bidding pool. Factions are public. In the resolution phase, shuffle the common goods action cards. 1 by 1, they'll be revealed, read aloud, then resolved. Afterward, players as a group check the event to see if there are enough resources to resolve any of the mandatory event's resolutions. If not, you'll be forced to take the unresolved event action at the bottom. If more than 1 resolution can be completed, the group votes. Do this again for the additional event if there is one. Leftover resources stay in the bidding pool for the next round. Keep completed events marked and separated because some goals and victory cards score based on them. Some cards will change your relationship with the entities on this track, whether because you wanted that to work towards your own goals, or because you wanted the card's other effects. Many event resolutions will also change these relationships. In the finished game, you'll have special cards called escalation events that will be shuffled into the event deck when an entity reaches conflict or allied. In the trading phase, players may wish to offer resources, VP, promises, and even cards, although not events or Gray Eminences. There is an optional rule for playing fair or dirty. In other words, you may have made a promise, but that doesn't mean you have to keep it. Trades will be made to prepare you for the next round or to score. In addition to the personal goals on each Grey Eminence, you'll be working to complete your victory cards. When completed, keep them face up nearby. You may only complete one victory condition per round. Perform endgame scoring at the end of the final round. A player will score 1 VP if they have the most of each individual resource. Then the player with the most total resources will also earn a VP. Add up all your VP, then see who won. Bid and manage resources, play cards, and use your factions to resolve world events in your favor. That's Grey Eminence. Grey Eminence needs to be played on a dining table. The boards, cards, and bits take up quite a bit of space. Once you know what you're doing, 3 can play in around 90 minutes. Expect learning games for you and/or new players to take close to 2 hours. As always, this includes setup and takedown. There is a lot of reading, and there are definitely words above grade 5 level. Younger kids, possibly some older ones too, and even adults, won't immediately understand much of the theme and content. This game provides a lot of opportunities to teach and learn though, so I'd say at least give it a try with kids 10 and up. In our third game of Grey Eminence, I was Deep Throat. In the second round, I managed to score my no personal gain goal by having no money. In the next round, tweets and cards caused me to lose all power and influence as well. Because I had nothing to bid the round after that, I was last in the bid stage. Dad and Mom placed their meeples, leaving me in the shadows. This worked out perfectly. I focused on influence and was able to complete a victory card that round. Grey Eminence has a unique theme and its mechanisms work really well to make the theme work. You're bidding to start from the position you want to be in, managing resources to complete resolutions that work for you, and reading and manipulating opponents during trades and other phases to complete valuable victory conditions. The Grey Eminences really feel different, from their starting resources to their personal goals. With that said, you won't always just be playing the game in that particular style. How events, factions, action cards, tweets, and everything else come out makes each game feel fresh. Tying everything together, I like that you'll sometimes go against your own desire in order to, for example, change a relationship on the power struggle board or complete a resolution that goes against your character type because you wanted a particular reward. In other words, be a politician. I love the tweets. Okay, I actually kind of hate them, but I'm sure you can guess why. Anyhow, each one can have a huge effect on the game. If you expected tweets to add resources to the bid pool, but that didn't happen, or tweets keep removing one type of resource and replace them with another, it's like a roller coaster, and you never quite know what to expect. The visibility track and bidding systems are very clever. First, what resources do you contribute, if any? You may have a card that requires you to be in the public eye, but maybe you are targeting an opponent's faction. Maybe you don't want a certain resolution to be resolved, but you only have that type of resource. Is it more important to outbid everyone? Or, yeah, there is so much to think about. Grey Eminence is a political game that is inspired by modern events, but will be fresh for a long time because of the amount of content and how it comes out. It works well even with 3 players, but more people add more chaos, selfishness, and people to read and ruin. While it's a really entertaining game, it's an even better opportunity to learn. This would be perfect in middle and high schools as a way for students to think about how the world is affected by people, factions, and events. Afterwards, players may be surprised by how easy it is to break away from how you wanted to play at the start and/or how easy it is to do something for selfish reasons. Do I want this to always hit the table? No. Will I enjoy it when it does? Absolutely.